stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Welcome to Trips and Tips with Klein Tours. I'm Allison Klein Sherman, and I'm 4th generation management at Kleins. Today we're in Harrisburg in front of the State Capitol building. We're joined with some of our great group leaders, and we're here for a familiarization tour. This is also known as our FAM tours. And with these tours, we bring group leaders to destinations and show them little snippets of what there is to offer in that destination and great attractions to visit. So our group is inside the state capitol today touring, and they're going to learn a little bit about what they can take their passengers to go see here. We'll be exploring other parts of Harrisburg as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We're in front of the State Museum of Pennsylvania here, and I'm right next to an exact full-size replica of the Liberty Bell. And this Liberty Bell replica was specially cast for the Pennsylvania exhibit at the New York World's Fair in 1965. We're inside the governor's mansion, and I'm here with Brittany today. Brittany, tell us a little bit about the history of the mansion here.
The governor's residence was built in 1968, so it's a fairly new building. It was built to reflect Georgian style, okay. So it looks much older than it actually is. It's about 28,000 square feet, a little bit over 28,000 square feet, and has 32 rooms.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you were telling us a little bit, it's right up against the river.
Mm-hmm.
So has it flooded in the past?
Yes, in 1972, just 4 years after the residence was built, Hurricane Agnes hit the area and the home was completely flooded. Everything was saved except for one piano. Everything else was able to be moved off-site. Yeah, but we did have severe damage to the walls and the floors, and it took about 2 years to recover from that.
Wow. It's a beautiful, beautiful home.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
So what type of groups do you cater to here at the residence?
We cater to all kinds of groups. So we are open for tours in the spring and fall. So April, May, June, September, and October. And we see 4th graders, we see high school students, we see individuals and families. So anybody who wants to visit the residence can.
Okay, great. And what type of, or what time of year? Is there a good time to visit, not a time to avoid? When is the best time to come and visit
I
here?
think any time is a good time to visit the governor's residence. This is the people's house, so we want to make it as accessible as possible. Some really fun events that we have on an annual basis in December. Typically the second Sunday of December, we offer a holiday open house, and that is a fun time. Okay. And then also during the summer, the second Sunday of June, July, August, and September, we also offer open houses during those times, and you can check our website for specific dates.
Great. And what is your website?
It is residence.pa.gov.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so is it open year-round for visitors or just different times of the year?
Just those months in April,
months.
May, June, September, and October.
Okay.
And then those public open houses, as I said, are listed on the website. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. I look forward to exploring.
Thank you. I can't wait to show you around.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
the Jane Schaefer Rose Garden at the Governor's Residence. Can you tell us a little bit about the open houses that you offer throughout the summer months?
Absolutely. So we have what we call our Second Sunday series. So the second Sunday of June, July, August, and September, we open the residence house and gardens to the public. It's a free event, it's open to the public, and we highlight our gardens. So we have Penn State Master Gardeners on site to answer questions. Sometimes they'll give floral arrangement demonstrations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we actually have a veggie garden just behind this wall here, and an herb garden, so we like to highlight that. Yeah, we have we have entertainment and local vendors. We like to really highlight Pennsylvania businesses. So it's just a really fun day.
And it sounds like it would be fun for really all ages.
Absolutely, yeah. We always have a kids event like arts and crafts or face painting or different things for the kids to do. But then we have things for adults too. So it is, if you have small children or you're just, a couple, it's for all ages. Yeah,
Great.
It's really fun.
Good, thank you. I'm outside the visitor's residence here in Harrisburg with Penny from the Hershey-Harrisburg Regional Visitors Center.
Right.
Penny, can you tell us a little bit about what all this area has to offer for groups?
Well, being with the Bureau, and I've worked in the Harrisburg area for the last 15 years, there's lots to do. There's museums, there's restaurants, there's shopping, there's lots and plenty of hotels, there's the PA Farm Show, there's the Giant Center that has concerts or play shows. There's lots to do on the river. There's the Pride of the Susquehanna. You can take a riverboat
Yes, we're going to be
tour.
visiting there next. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
The State Museum, the State Capitol is beautiful. I mean, and it's a free tour, so it's nice to take groups there. Of course, there's Hershey. Hershey has lots to do in Hershey. There's the Hershey Chocolate World, the Hershey Museum, the Milton Hershey School. It's unlimited.
Great.
Lots and lots for you to do.
And this is really an area, it seems, that offers possibilities for kids of all ages,
all ages, absolutely.
young at heart and everything.
Absolutely.
Is there, we're here with some teachers today, and we're visiting places that are great with teachers or with students. Are there recommendations that you have for more just adult-focused groups, or would you say probably the same type of destinations?
I would say it ranges anywhere from young children to adults. There's sporting events, there's museums, there's Whitaker Center has the Science Center, and that's for all ages. You can have cocktail parties in the Science Center. You can, there's just unlimited things to do.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today, Penny.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, good morning. My name is David Volkman. I'm the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Department of Education, the Executive Deputy Secretary, actually, to the Secretary of Education. And when I was asked to come up here today, it was kind of an interesting assignment, something we don't often get to do when we're working in the Department of Education. But it was interesting insofar as getting to share a little bit with them about the area specifically. As a former teacher and principal and superintendent of schools, I found it very interesting to be able to review in my own mind and then share with them activities for young people to do here in central Pennsylvania, specifically from Gettysburg to Mount Gretna to Hershey to Harrisburg. Probably the one fun fact I left with them on the bus was the fact that I work at 333 Market Street, and it is the tallest building between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
And we really got to know that when we had the earthquake a few years ago and things began to move around a little bit there.
Shuffle a little.
But again, I think it's a great area. Coming from Philadelphia originally, I used to refer to this as the frontier, but that was a number of years ago. And there was a lot to do for families here, and it's a beautiful area.
There really is so much for kids to see and learn hands-on.
Right.
My daughter was actually just here 2 months ago for her field trip and had an absolutely wonderful time exploring this area.
Great.
And they learn so much when they're seeing what they're learning.
I think that's so critically important because so much of education really happens outside the classroom. I mean, we know how important instruction is, and we know how important it is for our kids to be college and career ready when they graduate from high school. But I think so much is added to a person's education when they have the opportunity to have hands-on experiences and they can go out and sort of view not just history, but they can, as a result of that, look at various occupations that people are engaged in. So it's also another career pathway. opportunity for our young people. So, you know, I again recommend it highly because they used to always say everything I ever needed to know I learned in kindergarten. Well, I think that, you know, beside the specifics of instruction that happened in the classroom, I think the world as your classroom is extremely important. And in spite of mayflies, which only come once a year to central Pennsylvania, it's a beautiful area as well.
Great, great. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
taking the time to meet with our
Sure.
group leaders. Have a great day. Hi, I'm with Mark here from Anna T's Restaurant and Catering, and Mark was kind enough to bring our lunch right here to us. And tell us a little bit about what you do, Mark.
The restaurant's actually named after my mother. She passed away back in 1994. So I use all of her recipes when we do all of our food prep for both the restaurant, caterings, box lunches. We used all hand-carved meat off of a bone, so when you order a turkey sandwich from us, you actually get turkey that's sliced off of the bone.
Wow.
So it's not processed lunch meat, which is one of our biggest selling points. Our box lunches for the tour groups include 2 small slider-type sandwiches, pasta salad, macaroni salad, or potato salad, and also a bag of chips and a jumbo cookie, which are literally about this big round.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking forward to it. So we at Kleins, as a family business, we love to support other family businesses. So I'm glad to hear that, and it's really neat to hear that that's your mother's recipes and everything.
Thank you.
So you were telling me you can meet groups pretty much anywhere in this area to bring lunches or dinners, whatever we need?
Yes, we're actually located directly across the street from the State Capitol building, which the State Museum's a block north of the State Capitol. So any tour groups that come into the Harrisburg, Hershey area, even if you have a casino run that's going out to Penn National Gaming, to the Hollywood Casino, we can meet a bus on the side of the road, provide them with a fresh box lunch, instead of a box lunch that's brought down from wherever they're coming from. So that's kind of nice because we are a catering service that we have that luxury to do that. So any buses that come through Harrisburg or coming to Harrisburg, Hershey, York, Lancaster area, Carlisle area to the War College, or any of those things, that's all available.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was
Nice to
meeting
meet you. Have a good day. Thank
Thanks,
you.
you too. I'm here with Captain Jack from the Pride of Susquehanna, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his experiences on the water. He's been on the water for a long time, I understand, and also a little bit about what the Pride of Susquehanna has to offer for us.
Well, to begin with, as an introduction to myself, this is my 70th year of working on the water. 20 of it would be involved on active duty in the U.S. Navy. The remainder can be divided up between the Susquehanna Coal Fleet, the Millersburg Ferry, the Pride of the Susquehanna, and I mustn't forget my one day as captain of the Harris-Kelso Ferry replica back on July the 4th of the year 2000.
Wow. So you certainly do have a lot of experience on the water, and thank you so much for serving our country.
Why, yes, thank you.
So what all does the Pride of the Susquehanna do for us here?
Well, I should say that the first thing it does to a great deal of people is introduce them to what it's like to actually be on the water, to be sailing on the river. It's one thing to watch it going by under the bridges, upstream, or wherever it happens to be heading. But so many people can look at what's taking place, but they haven't really experienced it. And that's what the Pride offers, a chance to take a pleasant cruise, sometimes during daylight hours, at other times in the evening, on anything from murder mystery cruises to dinner cruises to wine tasting to whatever.
Wow.
And then I might add that the boat can be chartered. We will have weddings taking place on here, birthday parties. Maybe it's something having to do with a graduation or an anniversary. Okay. Whatever the case may be, when they charter the boat, it becomes their own private yacht. And they can have their food catered, or they can bring their own, such as happened today.
Okay.
And where we go with them, of course, will depend upon river depth. If, as an illustration, if the water is up around 7.5, 8 feet, and we have the time for it, we could cruise up to the George Wade Bridge. If it's less than 7.5, well, we can still go up past the governor's mansion. If the water gets too shallow, no problem. We'll head down to the Dock Street Dam. So whatever the situation happens to be, once you're aboard, we're going to go with you.
All right, great. Sounds like a lot of fun here on board
It
the Pride of
is.
Susquehanna.
Mm-hmm. To give you a rundown now on what's providing all this, the Pride was built here on City Island and was launched in June of 1988. It is approximately 70 feet long, not counting these paddle wheels, 24 feet wide, and weighs 100 tons. Now, anything that heavy is going to draw some water, which it does. Just sitting here, it's down underneath the surface around 2 feet. Once we get underway and begin rotating those paddle wheels, and by the way, those paddle wheels are for real. They're not toys, they're not there just for good looks. Once we begin rotating the paddle wheels, a working paddle wheel will throw water. And in the act of doing so, it will cause the stern to drop down a few more inches, down around 27 inches on the average. Now, as you know and I know, the river has a reputation of being a mile wide and knee deep. So, the construction of this is such that it has a perfectly flat bottom. There's no keel sticking down. A keel would be in big trouble in low water. And because it has a perfectly flat bottom, any turn that it makes will be a skidding one. But we're used to that. We're well aware of what's going to happen. It would be like you driving your car in an icy pond. You turn to the right, it'll turn, but it's going to slide for a while. This does the same thing. As far as current is concerned, that's no big deal. The reason I say that is just to give you an idea. If you were able to take this from here to Liverpool, that's 32 miles upstream. When we would get there, the difference in elevation between Liverpool and here would only be 40 feet. So anything that's that gradual a drop, as you can see, isn't going to be too big a bother as far as current goes. Yeah. The biggest nuisance for the Pride, because of that perfectly flat bottom, is wind. Okay. So we have to, you know, shall we say, adjust for it accordingly. Any other questions or anything else that you might be curious about?
Well, I understand you also do some student a school program on the boat?
Yes, we do. We have a river school, and what is so nice about that, it provides people with kind of a background, an education as to just what this body of water is all about, and its condition, the amount of wildlife that you see. And by the way, you might think, located here at Harrisburg, where we're at, that wildlife would be pretty much non-existent. Don't you believe it? Not more than 3 weeks ago, I was up there on the second deck and watched a beaver swim by.
Oh my goodness.
So
wow,
know.
Right. You don't know what you're going to see while you're here.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You bet.
I'm here with David Dunn in the State Museum, and we're standing above William Penn in front of this awesome mural. Can you tell us a little bit about the mural and what all this museum has to offer?
Well, the mural was painted by Vincent Margaletti, and it was painted as the museum was being built in the 1960s. And it's basically a representation of Pennsylvania history from the time that William Penn thought about it, and it follows the settlement, goes through the Declaration of Independence, follows up through the Civil War and the westward expansion, and it highlights a lot of things that are in Pennsylvania history, like the discovery of oil in 1859, coal mining, agriculture, steel mills, and those sorts of things, which are very much Pennsylvania. And basically that's what the State Museum is. We're the only museum in the entire world that focuses just on Pennsylvania. So, and we're kind of the Smithsonian of Pennsylvania because we have things that are art, history, and natural history all in the same building. So if you come to the State Museum, you can expect to find something for everybody. We have a planetarium up on the 3rd floor that starts out with the universe's creation. Then we go through a geology section that tells how the earth was formed and the different landforms and rocks and minerals. And then life comes in there at some point, and we go through the different periods where life is being created. We also have exhibits that talk about the Carboniferous period, where all the oil and coal was formed in Pennsylvania. Then we get into the paleontology exhibit, where we have the Tyrannosaurus rex and some phytosaurs and Coelophysis, and our very own mastodon, which was dug up in Pennsylvania in 1968. And then also on the third floor we have Mammal Hall, which is a great display of taxidermied mammals that are all indigenous to Pennsylvania. And so if you want to see a black bear, timber wolves, raccoons, deer, foxes, we have them all up there, all living in Pennsylvania. And each diorama depicts a certain location in Pennsylvania at a certain season and a certain time of day. So everything is very fun to look at, and the kids like to stand in front of the bison, for example, and just marvel at how big the thing was.
Yeah, really is amazing everything that our state has to offer for us and all of the history involved with it.
We are kind of the keystone state in history because it's where the Declaration of Independence and the first Constitution were worked on. It's also where we decided the War of 1812 on Lake Erie with the flagship Niagara. It's where the Battle of Gettysburg was decided. The Civil War was all ended pretty much at that point tactically. We also have coal, which drove a whole industrial era, and lumber. We have lots of lumber going on as well, and of course, who could forget the railroads? We have a lot of railroad history in Pennsylvania as well. And all that is covered here at the State Museum. Plus, we also have art. We have some really fantastic pieces in the collection. We have some N.C. Wyeth, Benjamin West. We have some other pieces such as John Francis, all on display here at the State Museum. So it really is a place that has an interest for everyone to see.
Yeah, it sounds like a little bit of everything for all ages. Thank you so much for sharing it with us here today, and we look forward to returning back with groups for more visits.
Well, come on back, we're ready for you.
All right, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Greetings from the Hershey-Harrisburg region, where you're only smiles away from a fun-filled time for the whole family. Why not start off with a visit to Hershey's Chocolate World, or come see our woolly mammoth at the State Museum. The kids will be all smiles while having an outdoor adventure. And then get right up and touch the animals from an open-top bus. Careful, you might get a kiss. You'll find out that our mountains aren't just for skiing. In fact, there's just too much to see and do. You'll have to keep coming back. Check out visithersheyharrisburg.org to learn more.
On behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard the Pride of the Susquehanna. We hope your ride on the Pride will be an enjoyable experience and a great memory for years to come. The Pride of the Susquehanna is an authentic stern-driven paddle wheel riverboat. This means our vessel is driven and steered by the two large paddle wheels at the back of the vessel. We want everyone to have a safe and enjoyable cruise on board the Pride of the Susquehanna. Pride of the Susquehanna was never established as a for-profit business enterprise. The Pride was built and has been owned and operated by the Harrisburg Area Riverboat Society, a 501c3 nonprofit community service organization. The officers and directors of the Riverboat Society are community leaders who volunteer their time and expertise to keep the Pride operating for the benefit of the people of central Pennsylvania and those who visit our area. It is the mission of the nonprofit Riverboat Society to enhance the economic and educational benefits of beautiful and historic central Pennsylvania. We love this beautiful old river, and we are delighted to have you out here with us today on the Pride of the Susquehanna. Thank you for joining us. Come back again soon.
Every story
needs a setting.
A place with character and characters.
A place that delights and inspires.
This is that place.
Come visit us and start your story.
till the water meets the sun. We can toss our worries far away from our hearts. And if you listen, you cannot hear them calling out our names, calling out our names. Though we might faint and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands, so get up and down and walk and see. Those gray clouds look close, but we have courage. This day is looking grand, so get up and down and walk and see. Hold on to the truth inside, let it guide your step and be a light. You'll be okay, you'll be okay. Just hold my hand and listen, dear, for the way to go as it comes near. We'll be okay, oh, we'll be okay. Though we might faint and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands, so get up and down and walk and see. Those gray clouds look close, but we have courage. This day is looking grand, so get up and down and walk and see. Though we might faint and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands, so get up and down and walk and see.
Thank you for joining us today here in Harrisburg as we explored the state capitol, the governor's residence, the Pride of the Susquehanna, and the State Museum. Today's tip, experience it, don't just read about it. For Trips and Tips, I'm Allison Kleins Sherman. Have a great day.